This is a GSG mp40 9mm reassembly. So when I took this apart, everything sprang apart and I had to figure out how it went back together. Hopefully this will save some people some trouble and not forget where anything goes. So first we got this little spring and it goes right in here, just like that. That one could be easily forgotten where it goes. So next we're going to do the trigger, which there's a indentation there, and that goes on here in the slot like that. The spring goes back onto this pin. Whoops. And then there's a little pin that holds it into place. Just like that. This white thing goes here. And this is just allows the screw to go through to the other side. So it will eventually go right there. Now for the hammer assembly. Actually, I'm going to do the safety first. So the safety, there's a little pin here with a spring that sits in here. And then this is the safety. There's a screw, which is the reason I took it apart, because it came out and the screw was stuck in the gun. And I had to take it apart to screw it back in and put it in. So the safety sits just like that. All right. Now, I was putting this guy first. So there's a little bolt stop spring here, which goes in a little indentation down there. And on this, there's like a little pin sticking up on there. So it goes like that. There's a pin here that goes through that slot. Just like that. A brass washer. Make sure that the indentation is sticking towards the spring, so the spring sits in there. Goes in like that. Then you have this part. It's called the hammer strut. Anyways, so that now is going to go in there like this and push in, but this will sit in here. Put the pin through. That sits in like that. Now you gotta push this. Takes a little bit of pressure. Oops. To line that pin up with the hole. There you go. Just like that. So now that's all together. Now we can put our other half of the gun. Just be careful about that spring, that it doesn't pop off. Place this back together. Like that. And then you can put all your screws back in. No, that's the wrong one. One here. 3, 4, 5. So I'll screw those in. So edit, there are 6 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got all those tightened up with the Torx 10. Now we'll flip it over. This is called the carrier. So you want this slotted part to go in here and feed that onto this pin. And then the only silver screw goes on here. It's also a Torx 10. It is recommended that you Loctite all these screws because they seem to come out pretty easy. Then after this, we're going to be putting the grip covers back on, the plastic handles. And get Torx screwdrivers that don't suck like this one. Okay, it's tight. So now we'll put the grip cover back on. There's a long screw and a short screw. So the long screw goes towards the back. So you just line this up. Put the holes there. Long screw in the back. Short screw in the front. Alright, those ones. We'll do the other side. Oh, yeah, the other side here. So again, long screws go in the back. Alright, plastic grip covers are on. Now we've got this screw here, this long one, that goes through here. And it's got this, I don't know if it'll come out. It's got that little circle I showed you before. You got to make sure that's lined up with the holes going through. And this one is a Torx 15. Okay, got that tightened down. Now we'll do the handle plastic grips here. So you've got one long screw that goes through. And you hold your finger on there. Put your other side on. And then there's like a washer nut type deal. So hold your finger on that. And then you can screw that one on with a 10, Torx 10. So now we can assemble. This is called the breech block. So you stick it in. You want to make sure these holes are facing the side of the gun because that's where the bolt fits into. Then you put your spring housing, right? Now you need a little bit of force, but not much. Get your pin ready. Stick it in there. Hold it. Put your pin in. Tap it with a hammer. Okay, we've got our pin for locking washer on there. I'll use a screwdriver to push it on. Just like that. And then we'll put our buttstock on. So it just goes up through that hole. And then we're going to have to pound that pin down. Okay, we've got that flush now. Test it. Yep. Now we can put our bolt back in. Make sure that's going to go okay. Oh, everything seems like it's working like it should. Safety works. Time to go test it out in the field. Linky says, thanks for watching. Please don't bother to subscribe or like, because we don't care.
Like.